So today we are in West Sacramento to help our wonderful client out with some paranormal questions, to find some paranormal answers, using our typical methods, validating, debunking where we need to and can, validating different things in the home that may be happening, and just getting a real picture of what they may be experiencing. Again, we come into these pretty blind. We don't know a lot from our clients, which is how we like it. We like to come in raw and just experience it for ourselves and then hear their story and try to validate some of their experiences on top of what we have felt initially. So what I do know is that there is some sort of energy in the space that they just sort of want to know, is this real? Is this here? No real direct complaints of severe negativity that I'm aware of. But I did feel kind of a random waft of just almost anxious energy. And I'm not sure if it was coming from a living source or a deceased source. So I'm trying to sort that out. But it was intense. It was a little bit pissed off and a little bit anxious. It was just like almost a confused vibration. I saw out in the backyard, I thought I saw like a little, it seemed like a man walked by. Might have been a residual haunt. I'm not really sure yet. And then I also felt a lady walking around in the space and possibly another male energy. I felt a lady, she was kind of complaining about being cold. I'm cold. And then I also felt before we got here, somebody who identified as being from the original time when Sacramento was being settled and built. And they gave me a lot of breathing problems and throat problems, and I felt like I was suffocating and drowning in some kind of fluid. Like I couldn't breathe. So, and they were like kind of showing me that they were near this area. Maybe they came over the river and they would came to this side of town. I'm not exactly sure what their role is, or maybe they have sort of an attachment to the land. So that could be part of the situation. I think we should just explore and validate and see what is happening in this home. So let's go on a little adventure and moo. That's so weird in here. I just feel weird in this space. Any orbs?
That's what I'm checking.
Okay. Yeah, I just feel weird in this room. I feel sadness, I feel lonely, I feel confused, I feel this room makes me feel despondent. It's almost like, of course it's a storage room because, okay, yeah, I don't know why, like, I can see why people may not want to use this room because it feels a little funny in here. It's electric and it feels heavy in here. Not inherently like negative, but just feels kind of emotionally heavy in here. A lot of emotion in the space, and so I'm not sure what that means yet, but we will.
Any antiques in this room?
Doesn't look like it.
Maybe the lamp. I don't know.
No, that's not. It's like best 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if it makes a difference, but on the shelf here are all of my deceased.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't really see them in the. Oh, yeah.
Aww.
All the babies. Well, I guess that placing them in here, maybe I'm just feeling
very much so.
Your emotions while
I didn't pick up on that either. Yeah.
I didn't really. Well, I'm sitting here in the dark for one thing, but now there's light yet. Yeah, it's just a heavy space. Do you have trouble like wanting to use this room for much, or you just don't because it's?
I just don't. I had like ideas of making it like my office kind of space.
Yeah, it'd be good for that.
It just didn't happen.
Yeah, I just kept accumulating stuff and didn't know where to put. I don't have a lot of storage room as far as closet space other than the garage, so it just kind of like
you turn into a closet.
Yeah.
Which in a way is not necessarily a bad thing. That there is some use to that, but I don't know, it just feels heavier in here. And maybe it is just the residual emotion of every time you've had a loss and now you're placing their memory in here. Maybe that would attribute to some of the emotion that I felt in the space. So, yeah, I think just a simple little blessing in here would amp up the energy and clear the emotional history
For sure.
and make it a little bit more positive. And then it won't be so hard to come in here and just know that they're here and that you know they love you and you love them. Because death is not the end, not even for animals. Their souls continue to carry on just as much.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I have a lot of spirit animals in my house.
And we've picked up on a lot of spirit
yeah,
animals.
yeah, we have. So
Even on the spirit box. In their own bark.
Their own bark, their own meow.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, we've gotten some validation for spirits of animals and pets and stuff. So that's a real thing, and it's also a huge blessing.
Cool.
So, all right, and right in here. Ooh, yeah, that's
Right in the pancreas.
like in the intestinal tract, and then sort of pancreatic area. Ooh, yeah, that burns. It's.
Give me any warning.
I'm sorry. Well, I didn't get any warning either.
You're standing right in front of the cabinet.
Well, I'm sorry. No, it burns. But I mirror pain sometimes. So sometimes I'm feeling it all on this side, but it actually is this side of the body because I have a real problem.
Can you just take a couple steps to your left?
That I like. Hold on, I gotta take a picture of that. I like it. That is just funny. Get a lot of lower back and sciatic pain now. A lot of lower back and the whole sciatic hurts quite a bit. Yeah, I get a lot of sciatic pain and low back pain. Right, I don't know, right in here. Yeah. Maybe it's attached to a female energy. Letter E.
E?
Yeah.
Poop deck.
Would you like to go into the poop deck?
Poop deck.
That's cute. It's very festive in.
It's my pirate bathroom.
Yeah, I see that. That's kind of cute. That's cool.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't feel anything
Okay.
so much right yet. Not totally like done with that area, but it's.
Washroom.
Yeah. I feel like I hear noises coming from there.
Oh, really?
I just like.
Is there a door? Yep, sure. It's the garage door.
Oh, yeah, this back pain is getting worse.
Yeah.
It's getting severe. It's going up the shoulder blades now. Now I'm just.
And you're feeling some in front of the cabinet, in front of the kitchen there too.
Yeah, and now
Yeah.
it's going all the way up my back. Real sharp pain. Who is that? So it's like playing Pictionary with the dead for me. I often see these little random images, and I'm an empathic medium, which means I am feeling them. I'm feeling their emotions. I'm feeling their energy and what they want to show me in like little flash images. So it's a little bit different than some of the stuff like you see on TV. It's not quite the same. I feel several different energies in space, and I'm having a hard time sorting them all out. There is this, that little old lady keeps wandering around the space, and I don't know who she is yet. But she just keeps kind of tinkering around. Real sweet little gal. Just kind of messing around, tinkering around with stuff. She does seem to have a little stomach trouble. I don't know who that guy is. There seems to be a guy with like a hat on. That seems to be walking through around space, like, and standing in weird places and showing up. Like, who the hell's that guy? And he just, well, I don't need to scare anybody. I don't find him to be aggressive. He's almost just protective. But it's not, but I don't know if he's protective of the land or the people.
What kind of hat?
It's so fleeting. All I saw was this dark thing, and it looked like a hat, and I just couldn't. And then the image was gone.
Okay.
It just popped in and popped out. Don't be a pop-up.
Yeah, don't.
Come on. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to communicate with you. And a lot of knee pain. All of a sudden I got, like, socked in the knee. It's like all like the buckling of a knee pain. So I feel like this energy of you'll be here and then you look and somebody walks by. Is that something you're having happen?
Yeah.
Because I see something like walk by and it paces.
It's in the hallway.
Okay. Is this the male figure that you're seeing?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's back and forth, back and forth. But I don't think that they're trying to be harmful. It's almost like dutiful. Like checking up on things and checking things, and it's almost a routine. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting enough, but he's not interacting a lot with me, but he's just like, what? Like, what's the problem? And then there are a couple other energies and souls in the space. They're all very subdued. It's not aggressive. It's just sometimes maybe, well, number one, seeing it is a little startling, I would imagine. And you're like, oh, so that catches you off guard. And then maybe sometimes you might feel a little bit heavy and kind of overwhelmed by energy or emotions, like feelings that aren't yours and energy, and just, do you feel a kind of an influx of just kind of feeling a little like weirded out occasionally or just overwhelmed by energy in general?
Yeah, when I see the figure, it's a little overwhelming because
Okay.
I have an idea of who it is, but I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure who it is. And my daughter's father, before he left, he has also seen that figure too.
Oh, okay. So, and then you drag me in here, and I'm seeing the same guy walk back and forth, and you're just like, oh god, oh god.
Must always feel
It's not it's not mass hysteria. It's where you're having a real experience.
Yeah.
See a little bit of facial hair on him, I think. I'm trying to see him clear, but sometimes it's really hard because it's almost like I'm looking at them through like a telescope. It's this weird distorted thing when I see them. Sometimes I see them just clear as to me. Not all the time, unfortunately, and I don't get to control that. I have to keep my bubble kind of around me and keep myself safe. But he seems to be. He keeps showing me different ages, and I hate it when they do that. Pick an age, sir. Pick an age. You need to settle in on one. You need to settle in on one. It's like showing me a spectrum. Okay. He does seem a little bit older. I wouldn't, not like, ancient, but this is such a horrible broad range, but like 60 to 80 is the range I'm feeling. Does that jive with kind of what you've seen? Okay. And honestly, I feel like there's some sort of ancestral connection. I feel like this is related. This is a blood connection. Because he's just like, he just wants to protect the child. That's what he's doing here. Because this is why he's pacing the hallway, to make sure nobody's going to get into the bedrooms. He's guarding the bedrooms. You could have just said that. That would have been helpful. I just want you to figure it out, really. These sassy dead people. He's a spunky little sucker. He's just like, well, I want her to, have the whole experience. You need to, we're working this out together. He's a sassy little, very dry humor on this man. But he just wants to guard. That's what he's doing. Well, it's very nice of you. He's like, well, sometimes I was a little bit rough around the edges, and I'm just trying to help out now. I'm trying to do my due diligence. So I don't know if that makes sense to you.
It does.
Okay.
I also wonder if he's protecting that too, the cedar chest.
Oh, so he may have a connection. Well, I can go fondle your cedar chest and see what I feel off of it. Yay, psychometry. I can go. There's something meaningful about a female that's connected there. There's a female connected with this that he is very protective of something with the female. Something of hers is in here. It's almost like like a dress or something. Not quite sure, but something of that he would want to protect of her is in this. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's my grandmother's cedar chest, and it has a lot of her random stuff.
Just all her stuff.
Yeah, and there's some of my things in there too, but a lot of her stuff. There's old photos. There's old tablecloths.
Yeah, because I see fabric. I see fabric in here, so.
I think I put her wedding ring back in there. There's a brooch.
Okay.
Necklace in there. I believe I put her wedding ring back in there.
So, the man's probably Grandpa, right? This is Grandpa.
Yeah.
And Grandma's gone too.
Yeah, so Grandma and Grandpa are my dad's parents. Grandma died when my dad was 7, so I obviously never knew her.
And that might be the lady that's walking around the house. Because honestly, the funny thing is I have ghosts in my house that died before I was born. So like my great grandfather and people like that, but they still feel our energy and they feel connected to our energy. Yeah. And if obviously if your grandfather, he was connected to you, and if she's connected to him, you sort of get a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
But I feel so much abdominal discomfort with one of them, and I don't know which one of them it is from. But I
wonder if it's her. She died of breast cancer, or supposedly breast cancer.
But maybe it.
I think it was liver, or it started.
And I was mirroring onto this side, and it would be the mirror, and then probably because I feel all this pain right in here. It's like right, like a belt.
Yeah. My dad was so little, I don't think he remembers.
He wouldn't
much.
quite remember. Yeah.
But
with cancer. Don't get me started. I can just go all over the darn place. So that makes sense then for what I'm feeling. You just got your grandparents wandering around your house, and I don't think Grandpa's trying to creep you out.
No,
he's just really trying to help you.
Yeah.
And he's actually expressing, almost treating you like a princess. Like his little princess is literally what he's saying, and like showing me like imagery, because like I said, I see images, showing me a little crown and showing me this real like delicate vibration towards you. And he says that, it's time for you to stop being second fiddle and being crapped on and being made to feel that you're less than. You are my princess and that you are amazing. Please value yourself, because I value you and everyone else should too. So please stop not valuing yourself. He like literally like grabbed your face and was like, "This is my princess." I'm like, "Okay, all right, Grandpa, I understand." And I have a very close relationship with my grandfather, so I get that feeling. But he is just really, he's I think he's been pepping up a little bit too, because he's kind of been feeling your stress. And I think some of the times that you may have seen him more were during spikes of maybe stress in the household. And so his presence steps forward a little stronger. Does that kind of resonate for you?
Sort of. I haven't seen him in a while. And the last 3 months have been
pretty bad,
stressful.
Well, he's here. I mean, and also here's the other thing: when you're upset or stressed or in a grief mode, it'll start to block your ability and your vision to see things. So he might be all like literally standing there like, but you're so stressed that you got blinders on. You're the worst with the blinders.
Yeah.
You don't have the ability to, because I feel like he's like, I've been here the whole time. Like, come on, give me my credit. seems like a neat fellow, but I don't know why, like, he showed me, like, Amish country for some weird reason, and not that he's, like, that's his deal, but all of a sudden he showed me, like, this palatial area, and it looked to me like all of a sudden I saw, like, buggies, and it looked like Amish country. That's just the vision that I saw. I don't know quite what it means.
They used to live in Minnesota, and my dad told me stories that when my grandfather was younger, he used to ride a draft horse.
Oh.
And something about, they'd go over fences, and he'd tie his handkerchief on the barbed wire so the horse could see it. They'd jump over it, and then keep going.
So the palatial, open spaces. Well, it's a positive memory.
Makes sense.
At least he's kind of acknowledging and validating. So that's pretty cool. I guess we should check out the child's bedroom just to see what it feels like.
For sure.
And see if I pick up any particular energy. Do you want to help? Are you going to help me? Thank you. Get help from everybody. Oh, look at that.
That's kind of cool. Nice painting, huh?
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Has sleep been a little bit difficult for a little while here? Yeah, we're getting validation on that. I feel a lot of turmoil in my, like the sleep tossing and turning and crying and almost like nightmares and being just totally restless, a complete restlessness in this space, to the point where they're coming in with you. Yeah. But that wasn't really a problem before. I think this is not due to paranormal activity. This is more emotional stuff. But although I wonder if she's not seeing Grandpa. I think that might be an experience that's happening. And
she hasn't said anything. But
and maybe she's not like she's half asleep. She's not articulating it and kind of just like, oh, never mind, that wasn't a thing. But I just get like this little feeling of definitely they're coming in here to try to comfort, but I get the word inconsolable is kind of what I'm hearing, and that's simply going to take time because the energy does feel a little heavier in here, and I think that's human emotion weighing in the space, because that can happen. We can impact our own environment with our own feelings. I mean, you throw enough feelings onto the wall, they stick. And I think they're really sticking in here. And kids are great for that because they're this raw energy and this raw ball of energy that just into the space like a paintball. And
You can clear that out.
yeah, this is something I know how to clear. Human emotion is important to get rid of if it's heavy.
How old is she?
She'll be 4 in September.
Oh, big 4.
What a wonderful age.
That is the age about 2 years before they lose the ability to see him.
Yeah, so she may still be having her own experiences.
Yeah.
I feel like she's just her emotions are what's wreaking havoc in this space. And I feel like the woman comes in here more and actually tries to like, oh, no, hold on, all right, Grandpa, I get it. He's like, no. I've got a new mini princess. Hold on a minute. No. She's important to me too. I was like, okay. He had to make sure he got his, like, no, we equally take care of her.
That's sweet.
Okay. So, couple of questions. Number one, do any of your smoke detectors call the fire department? Because I'm going to be smudging well in your space. And then we'll have to open lots of windows when I do that.
What if you open already?
Yeah, it just sort of popped in my head. I saw the one up there. I was like, oh, I don't want to call the fire department. Because my smudge game sometimes gets a little strong. And in here, we need to kind of coat the energy a little bit, just because it needs to sort of waft out and leave the space. Because I think there's been a lot of tears shed in this space that have really spattered against the energetic wall, as it were. And I want this to be a happy space for a 4-year-old. This needs to be a space of joy.
Yeah.
So
She does come into my room a lot, or when coming to bed, she'll come out and tell me she doesn't like sleeping in her new bed. And since she's been able to sleep in, a big girl bed, that's the bed she's slept on.
So she's just recently sort of having some trouble. Now, is this sort of tied to some of the stuff in the last 3 months? Yeah. Okay. So maybe if we can lighten the energy in general in here, and as time goes by, she'll just get more comfortable back in her own space. But it's going to be a thing you guys will work on together. You'll have to set some boundaries. It'll be hard. You just got to kind of work on it. But if we can lift the vibration in here, maybe it'll just feel better to her. Because her emotions are so heavy on the space. And I started exhibiting abilities at this age, so you can imagine just that raw energy spilling into a space when you're upset. Kids are pretty powerful. So we want to lighten that up for her so then she can just get back to normal, get back to some semblance of order.
Yeah.
So, and most of all, we'd like you to feel like you can reclaim your energy and your space too, because the house has some little patchiness to it, and I think it's little pockets of emotion that are just being dropped into spaces. Yeah.
Good smudge will fix it.
Yeah. I think that it you know, I'm almost wondering how to hybridize a lot of this, because I guess we could do some meters and just to see where, which rooms are heavier energetically and how hard I want to smudge them.
Sure.
But I think some stuff we can skip.
I'm feeling like that's
I think we do probably want to try to talk to Grandpa, though.
Okay.
I think that we should try to
That'd
talk.
be validated.
We need to talk to him. But I don't, like some of the stuff I think we can cut out just because it's, I mean, you're seeing him full bodied anyway, so why even map him? Because you can see him. But we could maybe, if you want to, we can.
Meter sweep.
But I think the talking to him might be something that might be more tangible for you. And if the puck stays charged, maybe we'll try some paranormal puck.
Okay.
That's always kind of fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
So let's do.
Communicate.
I think we'll regroup in the living room.
Do meter sweep and then
Kinda,
go into spirit box and or puck.
Yeah, and we want to cover some of the background with you. You know, obviously keeping you off film, but your voice on film, and then we'll do meters after we talk to our client a little.
Right.